welcome back to Sunday Club. How many countries have you been to? Were there anywhere you didn't speak the language used by most people? What made you feel welcome there? I remember that when we went to Bangalore to Divya Shanti, we were welcomed with wonderful garlands, as well as some delicious meals. Today we're going to hear a Bible reading about people from another country coming to Jesus, and how the story he told to explain what was going to happen at Easter used ideas anyone from any country could understand. So let's start with our Bible reading.
Everyone wanted to hear what Jesus had to say. There were some Greeks in the crowd who wanted to see Jesus. They asked Philip. Philip asked Andrew, and then they both asked Jesus. Jesus wondered how he could put into words all he wanted to say, especially for people who spoke different languages. "It's time for the Son of Man to be glorified," he said. What other words would help them understand? A single grain of wheat is simply a seed, but if it falls to the earth and dies, it will bear a lot of wheat. Those who love their life will lose it, and those who hate their life in this world will keep it forever. Whoever follows me must be my servant and should go wherever I am. God will honor everyone who serves me. So Jesus spoke words of death and life, of loss and gain, of serving and honoring. But sometimes the right words were hard to find. "Now my soul is troubled," said Jesus. "What should I say? Father, save me from what lies ahead? No, I've come to this moment for a reason. Father, your name be glorified." So Jesus spoke words of courage and obedience. And then a voice came from heaven. "I have glorified it, and I will glorify it again." The crowd standing there heard the voice and said it was thunder. Others said, "An angel has spoken to him." God spoke words of promise. Jesus answered, "This voice has come for your sake. Now the ruler of this world will be driven out. And when I'm lifted up from the earth, I will draw all people to myself." Now Jesus spoke these words about his death and hinted at what would happen afterwards.
There are so many important things in that reading. Next week we have a special Sunday Club called The Road to Easter, where we'll hear the whole of the Easter story and understand more about what Jesus is telling us here. But today we're thinking about the words Jesus used that anyone could understand. He could have said complicated things about the Jewish scriptures and prophecy, but instead he talked about a seed. Everyone knows about seeds and how they grow. Everyone there, wherever they came from, could understand about the seed falling into the ground and growing and then making lots of seeds. We thought this would be a great time to see Harvey and Tim with the cress seeds at our summer club, just to remind you all about seeds growing.
Have you ever noticed when you go into food shops, all along the wall on the shelves, there's lots of vegetables, and a farmer somewhere has grown those vegetables, maybe planted some seeds and watered them and watched them grow. So have you ever wondered, what is the best way to make seeds grow? So to find out, we're going to do a little experiment. I've got a pack of seeds here. This is Mr. Tickle extra curled cress seeds. And this is what they look like when you tip them out into a little glass container. And we're going to plant those cress seeds on 5 plates. So we'll do a little spoonful of cress seeds, spread them out a bit, another spoonful. We need water, so I've got some water here. So here goes. Each plate is going to get 2 strawfuls of water, and that will be soaked up by the paper napkin. Now we're going to think about where we can put the plates to grow. we'll put this one by the window. So there it is, we'll call that number 1. Okay, you got that? So if you follow me, we'll go down the other end. We'll call that number 2. And that's by a window, maybe a slightly different light for that window. Number 3 is on this table. To make it interesting, we're going to put a box over number 3. Here we are. We're going to put this one in the fridge. Come, follow me. So here's the fridge. I wonder how it's going to like being in the cold. We'll find out. That will go in there. So that's number 4. We'll put that up there. You can see that. So here's the last one. This is number 5. We're going to put this outside. So if you come this way, if you can just get through the table here. Oops. So number 5 is going to live outside. There it is. So that will get lots of sun and lots of rain, but there's lots of wind as well. So we'll have to just put some stones there to stop it blowing away. That's number 5. So if I can just squeeze through here. If you look at my board, so this is day number 1 of our experiment. What we'll do, we'll come back in a few days to see what happens. So here we are back on day 8. Let's go and see how the cress seeds have done. So here's seeds number 1. These were by the window. Let's have a look at these. So they've grown really nicely. They've enjoyed having lots of sunlight. Number 2, this was by the window as well. So these have grown really nicely. But what about number 3, the seeds under the box? So these have grown really spindly and they're a weird yellow colour. Now we're at the fridge to see how seeds number 4 got on. So these have hardly grown at all, these ones. So we're now back outside. Let's see how seeds number 5 have done. So these have been outside for 8 days, and even though I've watered the seeds every day, they've dried out in the sun. So even though the seeds have been outside in the sun and the rain, they've dried out and haven't done very well at all. And now we're going to find out from Tim why the seeds that grew in the dark did so badly.
Inside the leaves of a plant, there's a green chemical called chlorophyll. This is what makes plants green. And one of chlorophyll's important jobs is to do photosynthesis. This is where a plant takes sunlight and carbon dioxide, that's in the air we breathe out, to make its own food. This is a really important process to help plants survive. If the plant doesn't have enough sunlight, it can't make chlorophyll or do photosynthesis. This is why the cress in the dark is not green. And if there's no sunlight, the plant will stretch as tall as it can, trying to find some sunlight. This is why the cress in the dark is so tall.
We enjoyed seeing that again. Jesus was using the example of the seed to say something very important. He was helping everyone there to understand that it was because he would die and rise again, many, many people from every race and country would come to know God. At Easter we often sing a hymn that's based on those words. It's called Now the Green Blade Rises, and it's about Jesus rising from the dead. Let's listen to it quietly at the end of this morning's Sunday Club and thank Jesus for loving us all wherever we come from.
grain that sleeps unseen.